How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Toxic Avenger issue number 1 from Ahoy Comics. Now, this is something I didn't know anything about, but I saw it on the shelf and thought, okay, I love the Toxic Avenger, let's grab this thing up. And a Toxic Avenger comic really does make sense. I mean, he is a superhero after all, he should have his own comic book. However, I looked at this drawing on the front and I'm like, I don't remember the Toxic Avenger looking exactly like that. And it does seem very much like a caricature of the Toxic Avenger. And I thought, okay, well, it is comics, they are trying to be big and over the top and wacky. It's not what I would have done, but, you know, I'll check it out. And that is kind of the theme with this book. It's not really bad, but it's a whole lot of, I wouldn't have done it that way. I mean, I would just want to see the Toxic Avenger go on wacky adventures and have fun. And there are some moments of that in here. I mean, the highlight of the book is when the government breaks into this hospital and Toxie will wind up fighting off a few of these government agents. It's a loud, over-the-top fight scene, and that's where the book does its job really well. But there are a few other things, and again, things that I'm like, why did they do that? For example, the book is told backwards. It's during a quarantine. I mean, it's Tromaville, so of course they get a toxic chemical leak and the town gets put under quarantine. We start at day 4 and then we move backwards. But when I first saw this book and they just start at day 4 and they start talking about all this random stuff I hadn't heard of, I was like, whoa, okay, what's going on here? But not in a good way, not in an intriguing mystery way. And when we go backwards the few days, it basically just has the scenes happen that you kind of knew would happen from the dialogue in the previous scenes. It's not a grand mystery or anything, and I really don't know why they told the book in reverse order. It doesn't really add anything and just makes it a little awkward. I think they did it just to kind of move the action points around and have the book end on a higher note that should have happened earlier in the story. There is another thing though, and it's something I feel you should know going in, but I also feel like they probably did this book in reverse order to hide it. So, mild spoiler, but by the end you figure out this is actually a whole new continuity. This is not the Toxic Avenger from the movies, this is an alternate timeline. And the alternate timeline stuff, like when you see alternate Melvin, it is different, and I get how they reinvented the character, and I get what they were trying to do, and I guess it's fine. And it's, again, a case of it's not bad, it's just not really what I want. And I don't know, that's the whole thing with this book, is when we get the jokes and when we get Toxie fighting these guys, it shows that a Toxic Avenger comic can really work, but there was just quite a few moments that didn't ruin the book for me, but had me going, I wouldn't have done that. And it all starts with seeing this version of Toxie on the cover, which really doesn't look like Toxie. Overall, this is one of those that I'd say, go pick up issue 1 and see if you like it, but it's not going to be for everybody. It's not bad, it's just not really what I was hoping it would be, but for what it is, it's okay, and I am curious what the other issues are gonna do, and I will probably pick up at least the next couple. We'll see where the story goes though. But anyway, if you guys want to see this story in more detail, let's switch to the close-up camera. I'll show you guys a little bit of the story, a little bit of the art, but I'll try to be avoiding major spoilers. So without further ado, let's switch to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle taking a closer look at the Toxic Avenger issue number 1. Bring it closer to the camera, we can see the new Toxic Avenger logo. Yeah, it's okay. And then this is the A cover, and yeah, that's Toxie's redesign. And I guess it gets that whole spirit of being a big in-your-face comic book type thing, which they're going for. But yeah, it's just too far from the old design to me. I'm not a big fan of it, but whatever, this is how he looks in the comics. And he's going to be on the back as well. Across the top, we can see Ahoy Comics, issue number 1, $3.99. At the bottom, 00111, and this little band advertising the extras, which isn't much, but I'll flip to them briefly. We do have a letters page, which right now is just an introduction page, but we do get a little bit from Lloyd Kaufman, and he's basically just promoting some of Troma's new movies. We get an in-universe email, and it does give us this fun little map at the bottom. And we also get this ad for a Toxic Crusaders action figure, and apparently they're putting the movie back on VHS for its 40th anniversary. That's pretty cool. And that banner ribbon thing, that's for this cartoon and a short humorous prose story called That's No Sock. I mean, it's okay. Anyway, just inside we get the credits, Matt Boers the writer, Fred Harper the artist, and then the credits for That's No Sock. After that, we get into the story proper. I'm going to try to be avoiding major spoilers, but I do want to break down and analyze a few things and speak my points on a few plot points. I'll be avoiding the end bits though, so hopefully no significant spoilers, but let's dive in. We open up with Quarantine Day 4, and Toxie looking right at the camera saying, "I can't take this anymore." Yeah, it's only on Day 4. This has nothing to do with the real world pandemic. It's a spillage event that's going to cause Troma to be quarantined, but yeah, if it was the real world, Day 4 is just the beginning. Toxie's mom and his girlfriend try to get him to go back inside, but he doesn't want to go, and we get a few hints as to what's going to happen later in the story. Something about teenagers being kept in the hospital, something about a viral video, and something about the spillage event. Again, we don't know much about it, but Toxie's going to check in on his friend, and it looks like there's another creature similar to him. The Cure poster back there, that's a little ironic. We also get a government PR lady giving a speech at the Church of Troma, because, you know, it is Tromaville, right? And she, of course, is saying a bunch of PR puff stuff and trying to dissuade from the actual issue when they're interrupted by some toxic rain. Well, what did go on here? Maybe if we go back another day, that might help us figure it out. We get to see some government guys trying to go into the hospital and take the teenagers. It looks like there are several teenagers that have mutated. And we do get this bit about the head doctor going, "Oh, they're the government. I'm totally sure we can trust them." Well, in what is definitely the highlight of the book, Toxie jumps out and shocks this guy and then proceeds to go on a big long rampage. He's Toxie, so he's of course going to find a mop, and he'll even wind up shoving a guy into the wall with it. But yeah, this is definitely the highlight of the book. Well, that's how Toxie and this other guy got out, but how did we get here still? Better to go farther back in time and eventually figure out this whole thing. Overall, the Toxic Avenger issue 1 was pretty fun. Again, when it's doing Toxic Avenger stuff and is giving us that fun, wacky, and over-the-top fight scene, that was the best part. But I don't really know why they changed so much. I don't know why they made him look so different. I don't know why it's its own continuity. And they do wind up changing a bit that I'm not really sure why they bothered with. And the whole backwards thing, I mean, maybe it creates some intrigue, but it just kind of left me going, wait, what are we doing? And not in a good, mysterious way. Overall, it's okay. I just kind of wished instead they had come up with some wacky, goofy, Toxic Avenger mission and had him just go on that. But for what it is, it's fine, and I was able to get past the art after a little bit, so it's interesting. I'm not sure where they're going with it, but overall, it's okay. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my issue number 1's playlist. If you want to see me talk about issue number 1's of other comics, you should be able to find those there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.